How can I be dealing with a couple of things and have the wrong perspective, yet I got an example that I could just as easily have the right perspective? See, some of us are settling for having the wrong perspective, thinking that we can't have the right. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's challenging, but you can have the right perspective. It's hurting. Remember, Job was going through physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, family. Probably nobody in church is getting hit in all of those areas at the same time. But he was. He was. If you're taking notes, we know he has the right perspective, because notice who Job knows is in charge. You got to listen to how he says it. When he has tested me. When he has this is all about God. This is between me and God. Me keeping my faith, me keeping the right perspective. Notice Job doesn't give the Sabians, the Chaldeans, or anything coming at him. He gives none of them credit. Job said, when he has tested me. To go back to the Hebrew boys, they were unwilling to bow because though Nebuchadnezzar seemingly was in charge of the furnace, God was in charge of whether or not it burns. Some of you didn't get that. Nebuchadnezzar was seemingly, and I put seemingly there, in charge of the furnace. He was seemingly in charge of the temperature. Able to say to them, Sister Bolter, heat it up 7 times more than what is normally heated. Because I want to make an example out of these boys. But yet when he threw them in, God had to remind Nebuchadnezzar, look, I ultimately control whether or not it hurt my people. See, God is in control with how much a trial does, for how long it does. That's how you pass tests, by knowing that ultimately God is in control of every aspect of what happens in this situation. Not your doctor, not your x-ray, not your exam, not the study on what your battling has did to hundreds of other people. No, you got to know he knows the way that I take. And if God doesn't want this to do to me what it did to my aunt, then it won't. Come on, I said then it won't. If he wants it to do more to me than it did to her, yet keep me alive and she died with it, so be it. I'm teaching good tonight. I'm teaching good tonight. See, some of us, we lose all of this. That's how we fail tests. That's how I used to fail them. Thinking that somehow God has lost control of the situation. You know, because I'm looking at how it's twisting and it's turning, how it's hurting me and affecting me. Y'all do know you can go through the same thing, but they'll put a twist on it. Don't just say period about every trial. Well, I've been through this before. Yeah, I've been through this before, but this got a twist on this time. Do you feel me? But when we start feeling like somehow God is no longer in complete control, and some crazy folk teach you that God is not in control of all things, but he is. This is the wording. Listen carefully. This is why he can word it like this. When he has tested me. When he has tested me. Now remember the conversation that took place between the devil or Satan and God. As far as we know biblically, Job is not privileged to that information. Come on. The Bible never tells us that he knew the conversation. It never tells us that God allowed him to know the conversation, but we know the conversation. And the conversation went like this: Satan, you can do this, this, and this, but his life, come on, his life you can't have. And look at somebody and say, God only had to say it one time. You can do all of this, but his life, that's where I draw the line. And you remember when the enemy started attacking Job, at the beginning, he blamed God that you ain't allowing me to do enough to him. He'll curse you to your face. He'll fail the test if you let me do certain things. That's what, you remember what Job said? Job said, look, God, you got a hedge around it. You know, a hedge meant that Satan recognizes you are protecting him on every side. Let me in and he'll curse you. Let me in, he'll quit. Come on, church. Notice this. Oh, Lord. I done got real excited. When he has tested me, the word will do that to you. Then notice what Job said. I shall come forth as what? Gold. As what? Gold. As what? Gold. You don't worry about pure gold. Gold. Because at this time, the only thing they dealt with was pure gold. He ain't talking about no 10, no 14, 18. No. Job is saying, when I come forth, I'm going to be right. I'm going to be better. Now listen, this is when all this is hitting him. This how he talking. Tell me he ain't passing the test. How you talk determines whether or not you are passing what you going through tonight. How are you talking? What's coming out of your mouth? What are you saying about that trial? Job was saying this test is going to cause me, listen, to shine. You know gold shines. Gold shines. Copper will shine when you clean it. And then copper goes back to being dull. Come on. Gold keeps its shine. Come on. Because gold, in order to be this type gold, has to be purified. See, the test purifies. The test comes to burn off everything that's not of God. The test comes to purify my thoughts, to purify my talk, to get me right in the sight of God. And that's the reason tests be working on us. Come on, tests be working on us, getting us to drop this and add this. Let this go and bring this in. Tests be working on you. And some of you sitting there looking like you ain't got a clue what I'm talking about. You are failing. Do you hear me? Because tests work on you. Tests let you know sometimes you're not praying enough. We closing. Notice what he says. I shall come forth as what? As what? Job, you got to be hurting right now. I'm looking past the hurt. This has to be painful, Job. I'm looking past the pain. And I'm looking at how I'm going to come forth when it's all over. When he has tested me. If you're taking notes, God is too good to allow a test to last forever. When it's over, when it's all said and done, I'm coming forth. Listen, like gold. But I got to pass this test. One of the most important things we have to do to pass tests is that we have to speak life. You have to speak life. Daily, you have to speak life. Let me show you what he did. He said, I shall come forth as what? Gold. Notice Job 42. Because I want y'all to receive something tonight that maybe I never said it this way. But when it comes to Job 42, Job spoke that into existence. Job 42. This is the chapter everybody talk about. This is where everybody want to be. Everybody want to be in Job 42. Come on, yeah, you do. You finna get, everybody want the Job 42. But we can't have the Job 42 without the Job 23. Do y'all understand it? We can't have Job 42 unless we pass the test like Job knew in Job 23. He speaks this into existence, and I'm finished. Because we know Proverbs 18 and 21 said death and life are in the power of what? The tongue. Notice Job speaks it. Job 42, he said, I shall come forth as what? Gold. I shall come forth as what? Gold. Do y'all know why God given us this tonight? Because if we pass the test of what we're going through tonight, saints, we have the ability to speak what is going to happen. What is going to happen. If I stay faithful in my giving, what it seemed like I'm struggling to hold on to, I'm going to outright own it. God going to give me the ability to pay it in full. See, you got to talk right now. You got to talk right now. You got to talk it right now. You got to talk it right now. Lord, you know I'm battling to make this rent. But this rent is going to go to being rent to being mortgage. I'm going into ownership. I'm going to get in there before this year ends. I'm coming into that. You have to pass the test by speaking what is going to happen. Don't wait. The songwriter said, till the battle is over, shout now. Dance now. Praise now. Talk now. Don't wait till it's over to talk. Talk now. Talk big in it. Do y'all feel me? Talk big in it. Look at somebody and shout to them, get the talking right now. And look at that same person saying, talk the right stuff. Now look at three people and tell him or her, talk the right stuff. And some of you sitting there acting all cool, all collective. I come to tell you, when you fail tests, you ruin your life. You jack up your life. You delay your blessing. Pass that test so you can get your blessing. Notice Job 42. We got to go. Job 42 and 12. Now the Lord bless. Now the Lord bless the latter days of Job more than his what? Y'all ain't even there. Job 42, 12. I'm trying to close this thing right tonight. I got four folks in the church in Job 42, 12. Y'all got it now? Now the Lord bless the latter days of Job more than his what? More than his what? You remember when I said Sunday, my best days are ahead of me. See, I be talking Bible even when some of you don't recognize it. You look strange when I say stuff. That's what Job was saying. Him coming forth like gold meant that God would bless his latter days more than his beginning. Do y'all feel that tonight? Do anybody in Bible study feel like if you pass these tests, that your latter days will be greater than your former days? That's something to get happy about. I know I got to get out of here, but that's something to shout about. That's something that will, you remember what I said earlier, how trouble slaps a smile off and paints a frown? That's word right there will slap a frown off and paint a smile. A permanent smile. A permanent smile. Look at somebody and say, this smile ain't going away. Testify to somebody. Tell them this smile ain't going away. Look at them and say, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it. And they sure can't take it away. Come on, look at somebody and say, this joy that I have, the job didn't give it. And it sure can't take it away. Tell somebody, this joy that I have, the bank didn't give it. And they sure can't take it away. This joy that I have. The doctor didn't give it, and the doctor can't take it away. Come on, somebody. Come on, church. Come on, Refuge. Year of rewards. Tell some old folk this smile ain't going away like it did last time.